Welcome to the College of St. Rose Campus Theater and to the drama program's production of Radio Heaven. We would like to call your attention to the exits, which are located directly behind you at the back of the theater and also to your left. Please note that eating and drinking are not permitted in the theater, and the taking of photos or recordings of any kind are prohibited by copyright law. Finally, please take a moment to turn off your cell phones and any other devices that may distract the performers and other audience members. Thank you so much for coming, and please enjoy the show.
Imagine what it would be like if your mother was the world's greatest woman scientist the world has ever known. Marie Curie gave the world one of its rarest elements, radium, which gave mankind the means of fighting its most dreaded disease. And she also gave the world a charming and brilliant daughter who has never traded in on her mother's fame, but has achieved an eminence of her own as an author, lecturer, newspaper publisher, and above all, a French patriot. In just a moment, you'll meet Eve Curie, and having met her, you'll never forget her.
Well, since Mademoiselle Curie is French, and I happen to speak the Francais like the natives. Merci, Croquet. What is on the menu for the day?
Well, in Native American, here's my menu for today. We start the meal with chilled orange slices, and for the main dish, tender, juicy, golden brown cod steak served with buttered broccoli and broiled potatoes. And for a quick and easy dessert, a big slice of our gold medal apricot streusel coffee cake, golden brown with rich crumbs on top and a luscious, rich apricot filling.
Those gold medal coffee cakes. And you know, folks, if you haven't discovered how wonderful gold medal is for everything you bake, you're really missing something. And here's something else you should know. Over 1.5 million tests are made annually in the gold mills laboratories and kitchens to make sure gold medal flour is always uniform, with the same superb baking qualities, sack after sack, the year round.
And now, I want you all to meet our distinguished guest, a very lovely lady, Eve Curie. Oh, we're so delighted you could drop in for a visit this morning, Eve, and welcome back to America, too. How long will you be here this time?
About 11 weeks. doing a lecture tour.
Well, Eve, I know you visited America for the first time with your mother when you were just 16. What was your first impression of our country?
Well, as you know, Betty, on that trip, Mother had come to America to receive a most wonderful gift from the women of America. A $250,000 gram of the precious radium she had discovered, but was too poor to buy to continue her research.
But on your next visit, you made a coast-to-coast tour and became one of our most popular speakers. And what did you discover about America then?
Well, the European idea used to be that America was a nation of practical people all wrapped up in making money. I discovered that nothing could be more untrue. It's the only country where one may find a genuine freshness of feeling. I have a deep love for America.
And America has taken you to her heart, too. Now, Eve, I know being the daughter of the world's greatest woman scientist must have presented some problems. Did your mother ever have time to spend with you and your sister?
As busy as she was, Mother was not only a great scientist, but a wonderful mother as well. You know, she didn't want to take out patents on her discoveries. And my father was killed in a tragic accident when I was just 18 months old. So we were Mother's responsibilities. We had a very quiet life, and a quiet and peaceful home. And I do believe my sister and I saw more of our mothers than many girls do today.
Miss Curie, I'd like to tell you just how much I enjoyed your biography of your mother. She was never really aware of her great fame, was she?
That's true, Will. She didn't mean to be modest. She just was. I didn't know I had a famous mother until I came to America with her to receive the radium gift.
Well, Eve, you've achieved a fame of your own. The work you did for France during the war has already made history. And now you're the co-publisher of the second largest daily newspaper in France.
We have a circulation of about 1.5 million. And as you know, the paper shortage is still very acute. So we have only 4 pages. Our Paris press looks very odd next to your nice fat American newspapers.
Tell us, Eve, what are conditions in France today?
The French live better now. We're winning the fight against communism. The shortages are ending. We're producing much more thanks to American aid. Perhaps Americans would like to know where their money is gone. Thanks to the Marshall Plan, Europe is on its way back.
Thank you, Eve. There's always been a tremendous spiritual bond between America and France. Eve, I understand you have a wonderful new apartment in Paris. Is the housing shortage as bad there as it is here?
It's desperate. You know, during the war, the Vichy government deprived me of my citizenship, and my belongings from my apartment were sold at auction. All my mother's furniture. It broke my heart. So when the war was over, for 4 solid years, I had a hotel room, and then just last spring, I found this charming apartment on the 7th floor, which is high for Paris. I can look out over the rooftops. I have a beautiful view of the River Seine and the Notre Dame Cathedral.
It sounds perfectly beautiful. And by the way, we can't let you get away before you tell us the latest fashion news from Paris.
Oh, for Pete's sake, yes. What's happening to the latest skirts? I hope.
Well, skirts will be short there. Some of the French designers are making daytime skirts 16 inches from the floor. And that's revolutionary in comparison with the present style.
Well, I can see why French designs are so popular.
And all the French designers are using a great deal of embroidery this spring, aren't they?
Oh yes, and I believe this country will feel that fashion influence very strongly. And Jacques Fat, one of the more popular designers, has the interesting idea of using almond shells and walnut shells for trimming.
Well, I suppose it's all right if they give away a nutcracker with every dress. And now, not to change the subject much, but it sure smells wonderful in the kitchen this morning, and I'm even hungrier than usual.
That's an apricot streusel coffee cake I'm baking in the oven with.
Is there anything more wonderful than a freshly baked coffee cake and a piping hot cup of coffee?
And here's how it's made. You sift the flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt into a bowl. this way. Then cut in 1/4 of shortening with the pastry blender or 2 knives until it looks like a meal. Then all you do is stir in the egg, milk, and vanilla and pour them into the dry ingredients, stirring just enough so that all of the ingredients are well blended.
What, no apricots?
Win's a big help around the kitchen, isn't he, Betty?
I wouldn't know what I'd do without him. We have the apricots now, Win. And here's the interesting part about this coffee cake. First, you spread 1/2 of the mixture into a well-greased and floured baking pan, 6 by 10 inches or so, like this. And then we spread the apricots over the batter well out to the edges of the pan, so it covers the batter this way. And now we add the rest of the batter, spooning it over the apricot filling. This is much easier than pouring it, you know. And if there's a young baby in the house.
Well, there is at my house.
Well, strained apricot baby food is just right to use in this coffee cake. Then sprinkle the streusel topping over the mixture. Now we're ready to bake our apricot streusel coffee cake in our preheated quick moderate oven, 375 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or so. And here's our apricot streusel coffee cake that's all baked and ready to eat. Doesn't it look tempting? Welcome anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and wonderful for an afternoon snack with a big glass of milk.
Mm-hmm. And I sampled some myself, and as your #1 taste tester, I can say that it is scrumptious. And now, here are some questions from our listeners. Question 1. If your husband asked you to make dumplings for dinner tonight, what kind of dough would you prepare? A, pie pastry, B, rolled biscuit dough, or C, drop biscuit dough?
All 3 are correct. Dumplings are made from all 3 types of dough, depending on the type of dumpling desired.
Question 2. Why are bars of baking chocolate marked off in squares?
To make it easier to measure the chocolate off for a recipe, silly.
Don't look at me, it's your listeners writing in the questions. Question 3. If you were going to make hush puppies, which of the following would you need? A, sugarcane, B, cornmeal, or C, frankfurters?
You would need cornmeal. Hush puppies are thin corn pones fried in deep fat or baked in an oven.
Question 4. If someone said they were sending you some comices, Anjou, and Bosques, what kind of gift would you expect to receive?
Winter pears. Clomises, Anjous, and Bosques are the 3 types of pears available this time of year. And now, I'd like to give each of our listeners who participated in our quiz a souvenir of your visit to our kitchen. Here are 3 Tupperware kitchen canisters of Bakelite plastics. I think you'll like them because the Tupper seal covers are airtight and liquid tight. And you also receive a generous supply of gold medal flour. And now, Eve Curie, thank you for being such a charming guest. We want you to have a souvenir of your visit to our kitchen. Something to take back to your lovely new apartment overlooking the Seine. It's our General Mills pressure quick saucepan, and I know you'll enjoy using it because it prepares the tastiest meals so much faster and easier.
Thanks, Betty Crocker.
Do come and see us again. We've enjoyed having you so much, and may the future hold worlds of happiness for Eve Curie.
Folks, if you'd like to have that recipe for that luscious apricot streusel coffee cake, just drop a card to Betty Crocker, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and ask for the recipe by name. You see, all those Betty Crocker success recipes have been developed for and tested with America's favorite flour, gold medal kitchen-tested enriched flour. And remember, each recipe folder contains a valuable silverware coupon too. Get gold medal flour today, save the recipes, and save those valuable silverware coupons.
Thanks so much for joining us today, dear listeners. And I know you'll all want to make a special date to join us on Monday, because our guest will be that charming and handsome star of the silver screen.
Oh, what's he got that I haven't got? Except a mustache.
Well, for one thing, he has an English accent, because our guest on Monday is David Niven. You'll truly enjoy meeting him, so do be with us. I'll be expecting you. This is Zella Lane speaking for Betty Crocker.
You have been a guest for the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air. Brought to you Monday through Friday at this time for service, entertainment, and good eating by General Mills. Be with us on Monday to meet Betty Crocker's guest, David Niven, on the Betty Crocker magazine Of the Air, brought to you by General Mills. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Sets out to prove for herself what so many women long to prove, that because a woman is 35 or more, romance in life need not be over. That romance in life can live at 35 and after. Deeply in love with the handsome lawyer, Gil Whitney, faces the most desperate hour of her romance, as Faye Granville, an adventuress as beautiful as she is evil, has trapped Gil into a false promise to marry her, and is on the eve of announcing it. Yesterday, we heard Gil say to Helen,
"Darling, this was devised by an evil woman. I love you, Helen."
Gil, there's only one way out. To find out Faye Granville's past. If you could prove she's a notorious woman. If you could just...
I've tried, Helen. Faye has covered her tracks too well.
Then, Gil, I'm going to try. There must be someone, somewhere, who knew Faye Granville once.
If there is, Helen, you're not going to find out. Faye and her brother Darcy are as vicious and ruthless as they are clever. They'll stop at nothing to harm you if it suits them.
but Helen has already taken steps to find out who Faye Granville is. And yesterday, Brett Chapman, the multimillionaire who is still in love with Helen, and whom Gil hates with a violent jealousy, brought Helen snapshots she had managed to take of the elusive Faye Granville. Unaware that Gil was approaching the house through the patio, Helen said to Brett,
Brett, if we could get these pictures of Faye Granville into the newspapers, someone might recognize Faye and stop her from marrying Gil.
That's all you care about, isn't it, Helen? What happens to Gil Whitney?
I love Gil, Brett. I've never pretended anything else to you. I'd do anything to stop that woman from ruining his life and mine. Let me have the pictures, Brett.
Just a minute. Not so fast, Helen, my beautiful.
What do you mean? The pictures are mine. I took them.
But you lost the film, and I found it. I had it developed. That gives me some claim.
No, Brett, don't play jokes with me now. I'm nearly crazy over what Faye Granville is doing.
Well, suppose it doesn't suit me, my darling, to turn over the pictures to you. After all, it's to my advantage to see Faye Granville go hog-tie your precious Whitney and leave you free. Because when you are free, Helen, well, you'll come back to me. You were engaged to me once.
That was a long time ago. I don't love you, Brett. Don't think you can force me to.
No, not now. Not while you have Whitney and his fool mistakes to moon over. But after Gil's married to Faye, why, then I'll...
Gil Whitney will never marry Faye Granville.
Well, he's smart, Helen, but I've seen Faye Granville operate. No man's smart enough to get away from her, if she doesn't want him to.
I don't believe that.
Besides, Gil's wife, Cynthia...
In name only.
She still holds the legal strings. She's leaving for Mexico right after Faye's party to divorce Gil, providing he marries Faye.
Oh, Brett, if you've come here to bully me,
I came here to make love to you. I brought you the snapshots of Faye Granville, didn't I?
then give them to me, Brett, if you have any.
Honor is the word. Well, I don't when it comes to you. I want you, Helen. And I'll try every trick in the book to get you.
Brett, please let me have the pictures.
What do I get for them?
Are you bargaining with me?
You bet I am. My price for the pictures is that you go to Faye Granville's party with me when she announces her engagement to Gil.
Gil has forbidden me to be there.
You want the pictures, don't you? That's my price.
I see. You think you can buy me as you do everything else in your life. Well, all right. I'll go with you, Brett, for the pictures.
Plus, a kiss. A real kiss. Between a woman, you, and a man who's crazy for her. That's me.
Brett!
Price of the pictures. You want 'em?
They're the only chance I have to save Gil. Yes. Yes, I want them.
And I want you. Oh, my darling, my divine fire and marble, Helen. Oh, how I want you. Kiss me.
Yes, Helen, kiss it, if that's what you want to do.
Gil! Oh, Gil!
You walked in at the right time, Whitney.
I usually do when you're around, Chapman.
Gil, you don't understand.
I understand what I saw.
Gil, I don't want to kiss Brett. I don't want to see him.
You weren't resisting.
It's the price Brett asked for the pictures.
What pictures?
Gil, oh Gil, don't look at me like that. Brett, tell him, explain to him.
Why should I? I'd be happy to have Whitney think anything he chooses. He can't do anything for you now, Helen. It's about time he set you free for a guy like me, who can give you the world.
Gil, don't listen to that. Brett has some snapshots I managed to get of Faye Granville.
I thought I told you to stay away from Faye, Helen.
Gil, Faye has never permitted her picture to be taken. I thought if I could get one, get the newspapers to print it, someone would see her who knew her. Gil, aren't you listening?
Give me the pictures, Helen. I said give them to me.
Here they are. Gil, with these pictures, we have a chance. With these photographs. What are you doing?
This is what I'm doing.
Gil, don't tear them, don't. They're our only chance, Gil, to get you out of this trap Faye has set. Brett, stop him.
Not me.
Gil, stop. Oh, Gil, you've destroyed them. Torn Faye's pictures into shreds.
Yes, I have. I'd rather spend the rest of my life fighting Faye Granville than let anything Brett Chapman has to offer come into your home, Helen. Now go ahead and kiss him if you want to, but don't do it for a price.
Oh, Gil, you ruined everything. Everything with your terrible jealousy.
He sure has. And that's the guy you love.
Don't come near me.
I've had my kiss. I'll wait for the next one. Until I pick you up tomorrow evening at 9 for Faye's party. As we agreed, Helen.
Yes, I agreed.
Well, good.
But I'm not going because you forced me to, Brett. I'm going because I must.
Meanwhile, Gil Whitney, still in a fury of jealousy, reaches his own handsome home in Hollywood. He enters the dimly lit hall, steps into the long, dropped living room in semi-darkness, and stops as he hears a too familiar voice.
Gil, darling.
Faye Granville, what are you doing here?
I know you were out. When you weren't at the office and you weren't at home, I knew where you'd be. I drove past Helen Trent's house, and there was your car. So I came back here to your house to wait for you.
Faye, I don't have to account to you for where I go, and I object to being trailed.
Oh, but after all, Gil, we're announcing my engagement to Mary at my party tomorrow night.
I'm not announcing anything, Faye. What you do is your affair alone.
You know it isn't, Gil.
Faye, I don't want to talk about this tonight. I've had a bad day.
Why, yes. I saw through the big patio window at Helen Trent's house. It's just as I told you, Gil, darling. The minute your back is turned, you'll always find Helen Trent with Brett Chapman.
Faye, I don't permit anyone to say those things to me.
You're not still loyal to Helen Trent.
I'll answer your question, Faye, to get rid of you. I've been hurt tonight. Badly. And I'm a wildly jealous man. It'll take me a while to get over it. But if you ask me, do I still love Helen Trent? Yes. With all my being.
Well, it's too bad. But I intend to spend the next months of my life taking your mind off Helen Trent.
Faye, I told you I'm tired. I had a rough day. Don't come here threatening me.
Are you trying to walk out now, Gil?
I'm not trying anything. But when it comes to a showdown, there are laws of decency protecting honest men from women like you.
What laws, Gil?
You have nothing to hold me with, Faye, except your threat to harm Helen Trent. You know that you and your brother Darcy would stop at nothing to harm Helen.
Oh, my brother, Gil. You know my brother Darcy. He isn't quite, responsible. And Helen has made him angry.
By not accepting his rotten advances, I suppose? You, with the help of my malicious wife in name only Cynthia, have devised this. Right now, there isn't much I can do, but I warn you.
Warn me of what, Gil, darling? You're tired, Gil. You're talking too much, wearing yourself out.
Faye, please go away.
Why, Gil?
Faye, I don't want your arms around my neck.
You did once, Gil. And this is the night before we announce our engagement.
Faye, let go of me. No, I don't want your arms around me.
Kiss me just once, Gil. Just once. Then I'll go. Like this.
What was that?
Ha! Recording our kiss for posterity, Gil. You can come out from behind the sofa now, Darcy.
What have you done, Faye? What is the meaning of this?
Helen Trent thought a picture of me would be so valuable. So my brother Darcy and I decided to get one of us, Gil. You and me.
You won't want to miss the next dramatic chapter in the romance of Helen Trent at this same time tomorrow. This is Field and Farrington saying goodbye to the sponsors of Helen Trent.
And now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world, Roma Wines presents... Suspense! Tonight, Roma Wines brings you Miss Nancy Kelly and Miss Kathy Lewis in Dark Journey, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed by Roma Wines for William Spire. Suspense! Radio's outstanding theater of thrills is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, and to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines brings you Nancy Kelly and Kathy Lewis in the premiere of Lucille Fletcher's radio play for two actresses, Dark Journey. Tonight's study in... Suspense!
Today, I'm going on a journey. I'm going to see Anne Brody again after 15 years. When the news came yesterday, horrible as it was as though a shadow had lifted from my life, a secret horror that I could never seem to forget. I have been afraid of Anne Brody now for 15 years, but there's no need to be afraid of her anymore. Anne's secret has been locked in my heart together with all these shameful, horrible things. There have been times when I couldn't bear the whistle of a train, flung out long and mournful over the lonely countryside. I couldn't bear the smell of a day coach, the feel of the plush seats, the rattle and bustle, only because everything came back. Every detail of that long and terrible weekend we spent together 15 years ago.
All aboard!
Oh, Alice. Alice, we're off.
Thank goodness.
I don't think anybody saw us, do you?
No. Only old Mr. Hodge, the station master, and he's no gossip.
I wouldn't want anybody to know. Not that I care, but you know how the tongues wag in this town.
Well, it's much better to be perfectly sure of your plans before you pass the word around than if you and Clyde don't settle things. Nobody will be any the wiser.
If we don't settle things, well, there's no if about it. But Clyde and I are practically engaged.
Did you get his letter about us coming to New York yet?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, for goodness sake, why didn't you tell me? What'd he say?
Oh, nothing much. He's no letter writer, you know. Just that he was glad and he's been busy and he's going to call us at the hotel.
Oh, he can't meet us at the train.
No. It seems it's his mother's birthday and he promised to take her to lunch in town. We'll be getting in just around that time. He's terribly devoted to her, you see. Has been ever since his father died.
Oh, I see. You're very much in love with him, aren't you, Anne?
Terribly.
And yet you really see him so little. How long has it been now? 3 months?
3 months and 6 days, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, no.
I know Clyde loves me, and I love him. There's a bond between us, and nothing will ever break it.
Well, I don't think you ought to let it drag on like this much longer. I really don't, Anne.
Oh, we'll settle it this time, once and for all. When we get back on this train again, Alice, I'll be wearing his engagement ring.
Oh, doesn't anybody ever open a hotel window?
3 o'clock. You'd have thought he'd call me by now.
No, he's probably just tied up with his mother. Come on, let's go down to the drugstore and have a sandwich.
No, I don't feel hungry. You go, though. I'll wait.
Oh, come on. The clerk will take a message for you.
No, I want to be here myself.
Well, why don't you call him?
No, it wouldn't look right. He's got to call me. I don't know why he doesn't.
Well, I don't know why either. Don't you want to take a bus ride or see the sights or anything?
Later, Alice. Hello? Yes, this is Miss Ann Brody. What? He left a message. Thank you.
What is it?
He stopped by and left a message. He has a previous engagement. A previous engagement. When he knew I was coming here and I was only going to be in New York this weekend to see him.
Well, maybe it was something he couldn't get out of. Maybe on account of his mother's birthday.
But he'd already given her today. He knew I'd want to be with him every possible minute.
Maybe that's the trouble, Anne. Maybe he doesn't want to be tied down.
But he was right here in the hotel and he didn't even... Oh, he's grown away from me, Alice. Alice, you know what Clyde has meant to me these 3 years. It's just as though my world has been cut away. It's like having a lump of ice for a heart. Oh, I've got to see him. I've got to tell him.
Oh, Anne, dear, wouldn't you like to lie down?
No, I'm going to sit here in this chair by the window. I wish you'd go, Alice. I want to be quiet and think about him.
Anne, I wouldn't.
There's some barrier. I've got to push it away, to break it down.
What are you talking about?
I can do it, you know.
Anne.
Please go. Please.
Oh my gosh. Don't tell me it's 9 o'clock. I didn't mean to sleep so late.
Alice, what am I gonna do? He hasn't called. I haven't slept.
Well, maybe there's something bothering him. Maybe it's some family situation after all. His mother didn't have lunch with you yesterday. Maybe there was a reason.
What reason could there be except that she doesn't want him to marry anyone? She wants them all to herself.
Well, isn't that enough to upset any fellow? Oh, come on. We'll get to the bottom of this thing. What's his number? I'll get it for you.
I never called him at home, but his address is 3254 Sunset Drive, Riverdale, New York.
Hello? Hello, operator. This is room 351. We want to put in a call to Riverdale, New York. 3254 Sunset Drive, Riverdale, New York. The name is Dexter. Mr. Clyde Dexter?
What did she say?
She's looking it up. She's ringing. Oh, you better take it now.
Oh, no, just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Let me get my breath. Let me think of what I'm going to say. Oh, hello? Is this the Dexter residence? This is Miss Ann Brody speaking. I wonder if I might speak to Mr. Clyde Dexter, please? Oh, thank you. Clyde. Oh, Clyde, this is Ann. Oh, I'm fine, thank you very much. But, oh, Clyde, I've been waiting here at the hotel for you to call, and Alice and I thought that we'd better let you know that we wouldn't be in just in case you wanted. Oh, yes, Clyde, I know you said you had a previous engagement, but I thought that... Well, you see, Clyde, I'm only going to be here today, and we do get to see each other so little. I was wondering that... What did you say, Clyde? I didn't understand. You what? You... Oh, Clyde, it's not true. It can't be. But Clyde, you can't do this to me. I considered myself to be engaged to you.
Ann, give me the phone.
No, I just want to say goodbye to him, please.
No. Now, come on, don't look at me that way. What did he say?
He told me he's engaged to marry a New York girl this September.
Oh, Ann. Well, he just isn't worthy of you.
I love him. I'll love him until the day I die.
Ann, I'm so sorry.
Just go away, Alice. Please don't talk. Don't come near me. Oh, go away, will you? Just for a little while.
Oh, no, I can't leave you when you look like that.
Just go away, I said. Oh, do you hear me? Go away. I want to be alone. I have work to do.
Work to do.
I'm going to will him to come back to me, Alice. I'm going to make him come to this hotel through heaven and hell.
Oh, Ann.
I can do it. I've done it before. I've made him write to me. I made him call me up out of a clear sky after months and months. I willed him to speak to me the very first time I saw him, when he was just a stranger. I willed him to give me his fraternity pin last year at the spring dance, and I can do it. If only I tried hard enough. And Clyde. It's no use. He's too far away. I'll have to get closer to him. Alice, we're going out.
Going out. Where to?
To Riverdale. I want to look at his house, to see where he lives. There's something there. Someone who's holding us back.
Ann, let's go back to Denver. Let's take a train tonight. Eddie, train, please, and get out of here, and for good.
No, I can't go home. I can't. I won't until I have his engagement ring around my finger.
Between the acts, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines with a little domestic drama. It's happened to you before and will happen again. You're relaxed in your easy chair, coat off, contentedly reading your evening paper. Your wife is probably tidying up after dinner. The doorbell rings. Sure enough, it's guests who just dropped in. Now, famed hostess Esla Maxwell tells us how she handles these surprise visits. She says, I always keep Roma California sherry on hand to welcome unexpected guests. Serving Roma sherry is so simple, you just pour and hospitality reigns. And because Roma is America's favorite wine, you know your guests will enjoy it. Yes, there's no easier way to gain a reputation for gracious hospitality than by keeping Roma sherry ready for guests. Once you try the tempting fragrance and intriguing nut-like taste of Roma sherry, you'll always ask for Roma. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. And now, back to our Hollywood soundstage with Kathy Lewis and Alice, and Nancy Kelly as Anne, in Dark Journey, a play calculated to keep you in suspense.
It's getting dark. I really don't think we ought to be wandering around here like this.
Here's Sunset Drive, and there's the house. I've seen pictures of it. I would know it anywhere.
And this is doing you no good.
I've dreamed about that house, dreamed of myself and him living in it together. I've dreamed of our children playing on that lawn.
But, Ann, dear, it wouldn't mean a thing to you if Clyde didn't love you.
Why, I even named the children Clyde Jr. and Peter and Charlotte.
That's his mother's name. I never liked it, but I was going to call one child that just to please him. And now what have I got? Nothing, Alice, nothing. It's gone.
Come on with me, Anne.
There's a light on upstairs. Do you suppose it's his room? I wonder if he's home, Alice. Clyde. Clyde. Think of me. Come back to me. Love me, Clyde.
Anne, don't. Come on. Somebody might hear you.
Oh, a shadow at the window. Oh, it's Clyde. Oh, no. It's someone else. It's a woman. Gray-haired woman. Why, it's his mother, Alice.
I don't think he's home, Anne. Let's go back to the hotel.
No. I've heard so much about her. She always turned her nose up at me. He never admitted it, but I knew. He was the only son, and she thought there wasn't anybody good enough. It was always, mother says this, and mother says that. I bet it was she who turned him against me.
Anne, please, come on.
She's up in his room now. She's straightening his things. She doesn't care that she's made me miserable. Oh, I can feel it now. The barrier in my heart.
Somebody's coming. Let's go.
We're doing no harm. We can stare, can't we, if we wish? Come on, we'll walk past the house. We'll go up and ring the bell, and then when she comes down to answer it, we'll ask, is Mrs. Clyde Dexter at home? And then when she asks us who we mean, we'll laugh in her face.
Oh, Anne, you're just beside yourself.
Yes, I am. I am beside myself. Because I feel it, Alice. He's lost to me as long as she's up there. Well, I can stand out here under the trees, trying to reach him with every bit of soul I possess. But as long as she's there, as long as she's alive, he'll never be mine again.
Anne, this is terrible. You've been sitting in that chair now for 3 hours.
Please.
You're working on that willpower thing still, aren't you, Anne?
Be quiet, it's coming. Something's going to happen, Alice.
I'm going to get a doctor if you don't. Well, you're just as wise as she. You're shaking all over. I absolutely refuse to let this go on. Do you hear me?
No, leave me alone. It's as though there were a big lump being moved off of my heart. As though the ice inside me were going. As though I could cry at last. Oh, it's happened. Oh, thank you, God, thank you. All right, I'll lie down now. I'll go to sleep.
If you could sleep, you'd feel better. If you would just relax.
I've done it, Alice. You'll see. He'll be here in the morning.
You'll lie down now.
There he is. Didn't I tell you? There's Clyde now. Hello? Yes, this is room 351. Yes, this is Anne Brody speaking. Yes. It's Riverdale calling. Riverdale.
Clyde?
She didn't say. Oh, hello? Yes, I'm Anne Brody. Why, yes, I am a friend of Mr. Clyde Dexter. Who did you say this is, please? The police?
The police.
Oh, something hasn't happened to Mr. Dexter, has it? Oh, yes. Yes, my friend and I were out to the house late this afternoon, around 6 o'clock. Why, yes, I did wear a white hat and a green dress, and she wore... Oh, no, but we took the subway, the White Plains Express on the Innaborough line, back to our hotel. We came back here around 7. Well, we just walked past the house 2 or 3 times, but... Well, what's the matter? No, I haven't seen him. What?
Give me the phone, Anne. Let me speak to them. You're in no condition to talk.
Keep away. Do you know what they're saying, do you? That Clyde's mother has been murdered.
What?
Oh, no. No, I haven't. Yes. No, we didn't. We just came right home. We didn't even ring the bell. Is Mr. Dexter there with you? I see. Well, I'd like to speak to him, please. When he gets through, will you ask him to call me? Yes, we'll stay right here in our room. It was a hammer. At 8 o'clock tonight, she was struck from behind by an unknown assailant.
Oh, how awful. Well, why did the police call us? What have we got to do with it?
Clyde was home when we walked by the house. He saw us standing there. I'm going to tell him the truth, Alice. I'm going to tell him the truth.
Truth? What truth?
That there's always been this power inside of me. I've been afraid to use it sometimes. Afraid it would turn against me. And tonight it did turn against me.
And what do you mean?
By an unknown assailant. Murdered by an unknown assailant. You know who that assailant was? It was me.
Anne, are you crazy? You were up here, in the room, every minute.
I was up here, but I was wishing she were dead. I was willing him to come to me. I was trying to destroy the barrier.
Why, surely you can't believe that, Anne.
I was trying to bring him back, to touch his heart, But the power didn't touch his heart. It struck his heart and glanced off and struck her, dead.
Anne, please, you're talking like a lunatic.
But you don't understand. People like you can understand. People like you. There's a violence to will. To store it up takes years.
Will can't kill somebody, Anne. Not pure will. The body is one thing, the mind another. Mrs. Dexter is physically dead. There was a blow. Somebody real, somebody human did that.
She was struck from behind. She was alone in the house. They said the doors were locked and it came out of nothing, and then it went away again. Oh, I never dreamed. I didn't want it to happen that way, but it's getting beyond me. It's assuming forms and accomplishing ends that I don't plan. It's turning against me, Alice.
Do you think the police will believe you? You'll only confuse the testimony. You'll only hurt Clyde. Will. You talk about the power of your will. Did you have any real power these last 2 days? Did it bring Clyde to this hotel? Did it make him love you? You couldn't even get him to call you up.
Yes.
God, please don't do this. Don't touch it. I won't let you speak to him.
Get away from that phone, Alice.
Do you want to get us in trouble? Do you want us to go to jail and spend weeks in court? He put you there. You know he wouldn't care. I don't believe you. Do you hear me? I think you're mad. You're as mad as a hatter.
Get away from that phone.
God. Anne, you'll ruin your life, please. You'll fall into suspicion, and people will always think you had something to do with this. You'll end up in an asylum. All right.
Thank you, Alice. You see, it is there, isn't it? I made you do what I wanted, and I can make anyone. Hello? Hello, Clyde. Oh, Clyde, darling, I just heard the terrible news. How terrible for you. I'm so sorry. Yes, Alice and I were there this afternoon. We came by to say hello, but we got cold feet and we came home. Oh, no, Clyde. No, we didn't. Not a soul. Oh, yes, my darling. I understand. Oh, I will, Clyde, dearest. I will. I'll be right over. I'll help you in any way I know. Goodbye, Clyde.
And you didn't tell him. You're not going to tell him at all.
No. Why should I? He's mine now.
And so, Anne Brody walked out of my life. Walked from me wrapped in her new and terrible strangeness. Somehow I didn't want to play any more parts in her life again. I didn't go to her wedding when she and Clyde were married 1 year later. To me, there would have been something evil in hearing her voice repeat the sacred words.
I am. Take thee, Clyde.
There's been for me a nameless horror in the slow, steady way Anne Brody fulfilled her plan. The house in Riverdale, the car, the children, Peter, Clyde Jr., and dear little Charlotte. Her happiness, her triumphant motherhood has been hideous to me. I've never heard a train whistle crying through the dawn when I didn't think of her and shudder. I have been afraid of Anne now for 15 years. Today, though, I know I've been a fool. Today, I know it was a real murderer who murdered Mrs. Dexter with a hammer from the service porch. Today, I'm going on a journey to Riverdale. I'm going to see Anne again, lying willless in her coffin, lying pathetic and innocent, murdered. Not Will nor nameless monsters of the mind could save her from the truth at last. Yesterday afternoon, the weak, long-brooding creature who could not brook domination from mother or wife flung pent-up death against the mistress of his will. Yesterday afternoon, Clyde Dexter struck again.
Suspense! Presented by Roma Wines, ROMA, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is Truman Bradley for Roma Wine with a tip on how to win praise and increase dining pleasure. Burgundy adds richness and beauty to your table. Yet the gracious custom of serving Roma, America's favorite wine, is as inexpensive as it is delightful. Insist on Roma, ROMA, Roma Wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is Nancy Kelly. I'm sure you'll want to hear next Thursday's Suspense, when Joseph Cotton stars as a famous New York criminal lawyer in one of the best-known suspense stories of our time, Ben Hecht's Crime Without Passion. Thank you.
Nancy Kelly will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Follow That Woman. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines brings you Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Next week, part of the country goes on daylight savings time. If you are in the area that remains on standard time, tune in Suspense 1 hour early. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Halo, everybody, halo. Halo is the shampoo that glorifies your hair. So halo, everybody, halo. For lively, lighter curls and brighter, sparkling hair. Halo is natural beauty. The first time that you use it, you'll need no special rinsing after you use it. So halo, everybody, halo. Halo shampoo, halo.
Of all the boys I've known, and I've known some, until I first met you, I was lonesome. But when you came inside, dear, my heart grew light, and this whole world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you. And so I racked my brain, hoping to explain all the things that you do to me. My dear Mr. Shane, please let me explain. My dear Mr. Shane means that you're right.
before the end of the program.
Well, Alice, only one more block and you'll be home with Brooks' household.
2 whole years, Jim. It just doesn't seem possible. It's been so long. You and Dorothy married and with a place of your own.
It's true, all right. Only too bad you haven't taken advantage of the old Brooks hospitality sooner.
Well, I'm here now, and I intend on having a perfectly wonderful time.
Now, here we are.
Oh, what a charming place this is.
Dorothy's probably pins and needles, waiting for me to get you here. Darling, it's Jim. Here's Alice.
Jim, look!
What? Where?
There on the living room floor. It's Dorothy, dead.
Mr. Brooks, I'm afraid you and Miss Manning will have to submit to some routine questions.
I'll be happy to help in any way I can, Inspector.
Thank you, Miss Manning. Now, Mr. Brooks, while we're waiting for some information I found for, I want you to tell me exactly what happened this morning.
There's nothing much to tell. Both my wife and I were quite excited, expecting Alice, that is, Miss Manning here, to visit us from Chicago. I was to wait until she called me at the office.
And you were there all morning?
Yes, until Miss Manning's train arrived, and we came out here.
I had written Mrs. Brooks to tell her that I would call Jim at the office as soon as I arrived. The train was an hour late. Maybe if it had been here earlier, it may have prevented this.
Apparently, Mrs. Brooks was sitting here in this chair, putting red polish on her fingernails when she was shot from behind. The polish spilled all over the carpet, and she was still holding the tiny brush in her hand. She must have recognized her attacker, though, and since she didn't die instantly, she printed these 3 initials here on the floor with the polish. D-O-C.
D-O-C. I wish I could tell whose initials she was trying to reveal.
You're sure you don't know anybody whose name would fit that description?
Positive, I can't.
Oh.
Yes, Miss Manning. Can you think of somebody with those initials?
Well, D-O-C spells Doc, and it's Mr. Brooks's nickname.
Why, it can't be.
Yes, Mr. Brooks.
I haven't been called Doc for over 2 years. It was a nickname I picked up in school. My wife didn't like the name, and so I never used it. No one in New York even knows me by Doc. You've got to believe me, Inspector. It's the truth.
Just 1 minute. Hello? Yes, Grady. Yes, I see. Well, it's been sorted up anyways. Thank you. Well, you'll both be happy to know our little murder is solved.
Oh, then, it wasn't Doc after all?
No, Miss Manning, it wasn't Doc. I'm arresting you, Miss Manning, for the murder of Dorothy Brooks.
Why did the inspector arrest Miss Manning for the murder of Mrs. Brooks? In a moment, we'll find out. But first, this. And now, back to our story.
How dare you arrest me? I was still on the train.
Your train wasn't late, Miss Manning. That phone call just verified the fact. You came out here, you murdered Mrs. Brooks, you returned to the station, and you called Mr. Brooks to pick you up. But that wasn't what really gave you away, though, Miss Manning. Too bad you didn't know Mr. Brooks was no longer called Doc when you printed those letters on the carpet. The next time you leave a clue to throw suspicion, you'd better get the name right. But of course, there won't be a next time, will there, Miss Manning?
Join us again next time for another chance to solve a 5-minute mystery.
I come from Carolina, so pardon my drawl. I'm here to mention
extra long grain rice.
The Skelly Oil Company presents Captain Midnight. Captain Midnight brought to you every day, Monday through Friday at this same time by the Skelly Oil Company. Skelly jobbers and dealers. And now, here is exciting news for thousands of fellows and girls who've already joined up in as junior pilots in the new 1940 Flight Patrol. If you are one of those who joined about a week ago, your spinning medal of membership is now ready for you to pick up. So go back to the Skelly service station where you got your junior pilot's card, and your spinning propeller medal will be awaiting for you. However, if it isn't there now, it's in the mail, and it should be there for you in a day or so. And say, will you just be tickled to pieces when you see it? And if you haven't joined, say none of this will cost you a single penny. Here's all you do. Drive over to your Skelly service station the next time you're out riding with Mother or Dad. Tell your Skelly man you want to join the new 1940 Flight Patrol, and he'll put your name right on the list for all the big gifts and presents that are coming later. But don't delay. Ask Mother or Dad to stop at your Skelly service station with you tonight. And now to Captain Midnight. Last time, you remember Patsy and Ma Donovan, Pinky and Slim escaped from capture by Shark's men by using the captured pilot, Zollinger, as a shield as they escaped from the cabin in which they were seemingly trapped. Thinking that Captain Midnight and Chuck were probably nearby, Patsy tried to communicate with them by using a signal she and Chuck used in their grammar school days, imitating the screech of a hoot owl. Our scene today is with Chuck and Captain Midnight, very far from the deserted cabin in which Patsy and her friends had been hiding. Suddenly, above the sighing of the wind, they hear.
Blinking beacons, Red. There's that owl again.
Shh! Don't move, Chuck. There's something strange about this.
There it is again, Red. Listen, I wonder if it could be possible. When Patsy and I were kids in grammar school, we used to make a call like that, sort of like a signal.
Say, do you still remember how to make that call?
Gosh, I can sure try.
All right, listen. Go ahead. We can't be much worse off than we are right now.
But here goes. Now listen. There's the answer. It's Patsy. It's gotta be.
Are you sure, Chuck?
Well, gosh, Red, I'm not positive, but I don't see who else it could be.
Yes. All right, Chuck. We'll know soon enough.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah. Go ahead. Hey, kid, you're getting better.
Gee, Red, isn't that swell?
You bet. That proves it's her as far as I'm concerned. Now look, Chuck. We've got to be mighty careful. If I'm right, we're surrounded by enemies on every side.
I understand what you mean, Red. We can't draw attention to Patsy's hiding place.
I thought the sound came from our left.
That's what I thought, too.
All right. I'll lead the way and you follow. Keep on my heels and let's try not to make any more noise than we possibly can. Oh, this is far enough.
Gee, Red, you must have been going in the wrong direction. It seems to me we should have found him by this time.
I thought so too, Chuck. Let's look over the situation.
Well, straight ahead goes downhill into a sort of valley. I can't quite make out what it is, it's so dark.
Are they down there in that ravine, or to our left up in the hills?
Seems to me they'd be in whatever's the best hiding place.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The question is, which is the best hiding place?
I think I better signal them again, don't you?
Well, I guess you'll have to. If we do too much of this hooting, some of Shark's men may get suspicious.
And we could stumble right onto a nest of them.
Yes, that's the one thing we can't afford to let happen.
Yeah,
if anything happened to us, well, I don't know what the rest of our bunch would do.
All right. Give another hoot.
Listen, Red. Listen to that. Patsy's to our left.
You're right, Chuck. Come on.
Look, Red, we're running right into the cliff.
Yes, I see. Go easy, Chuck.
What's that, Red? See? That big boulder up on our right.
Oh?
There's something on the other side of it. Looks like a man's head and shoulders.
Chuck, you're right. It's a man.
The only thing is, it could be one of Shark's men. I know what to do. There's another signal Patsy will understand. It's a low signal, a whistle repeated 2 times. If Patsy hears it, she'll reply with 3 whistles.
Okay, Chuck. But first, get back in the shadow of this tree. Come on.
Okay. How's this?
Yeah. This is all right. Well, go ahead.
Gee, that's her all right.
Okay, now listen. Call out in a low tone.
Hey, Patsy?
I hear you, Chuck. Here we are.
Where are you, Patsy?
Over here, Chuck. Gee, Chuck, we're glad to see you. Where's Red?
He's right behind me. Here he is.
Hello, Patsy.
Where's Mom?
Turn your eye around. Oh, praise be the saints. I didn't know when I'd ever lay eyes on you two again.
Well, that's what we were afraid of about you. Where are Pinky and Slim?
They're out on guard.
Yes, we can see him from below. He better get down behind that rock or one of Shark's men will pick him up.
Gosh, Patsy, we sure were worried about you guys.
Did you see the shack?
Yes, we did, Patsy. One end of it is completely blown up.
Well then, bless our lucky stars. We got out just in time.
How was the shack blown up?
By one of those black planes.
Oh, but praise be we weren't there by that time.
Gosh, how'd you get out? Aren't there a lot of Shark's men on the ground?
I'll say there are.
You took an awful chance coming out like that.
Well, it wasn't so much of a chance because, you see, we had that injured pilot and we used him as a shield.
Not a bad idea then. Where is he now?
Right behind us in this cave.
I thought he was injured pretty bad.
That's what we thought. But when Pinky put a gun in his ribs, he got up and moved plenty fast.
I'd like to find out about that fella.
There was sure something mighty strange about him.
Well, has he said anything?
Not a thing or the other, since you brought him in from that wreck.
I don't know whether he's putting on an act or not.
If you ask me, that's just what he's doing.
Well, I guess the question now is, what are we going to do with him?
Well, that's all been arranged. We're going back into the mountains to find a place Chuck and I know.
Gee, Ma, did you hear that? Isn't that swell? But listen, Red,
Oh?
we told you what happened to us, but you haven't said a word about yourselves.
More like what hasn't happened to us.
Yes, that's about it, Patsy. It'll take a couple of hours to tell you about it.
How soon do we start for this place you picked out, Red?
In just a few minutes, Patsy. Oh, and how do you feel, Mrs. Donovan?
Well, I'm sure I haven't closed an eye for I don't know how long, but I'm good for a few hours yet.
Now that kicks us back to this prisoner. What are we going to do with him?
First, I want to take a look at him. Where is he, Patsy?
This way a few steps, Red.
Here's my flashlight.
Ah, swell, Chuck. Here, let me have it.
There he is, Red, lying on the ground.
Uh-huh. I'll snap on this light and we'll take a look at him.
Sure, and he acts the way he always has, lying on his back with his eyes wide open.
Well, I'm going to give him another chance to answer another question. Can you hear what I'm saying?
I don't think he can hear you. He's either deaf or he lost his hearing in that crash.
Wait a minute, Chuck. I'll try one more time. Now listen to me. If you can hear me, nod your head.
He's a good actor, if you ask me.
Or maybe his neck's hurt so he can't move it.
Well, he didn't have any trouble walking. But I don't believe he can hear. His expression hasn't changed a single bit.
He's got the strangest look in his eyes. Sort of as though he was grateful to us.
I've had the same feeling, Chuck.
I wouldn't be trusted him for a second. He's up to no good, or he wouldn't be flying for Ivan Shark.
Well, Red, what are we going to do?
Let him lie there for just a few seconds. Let's all of us step away here.
Come on, Mom.
Oh, all right, but I don't like the idea of leaving this fellow alone.
All right, wait. I didn't want to talk in front of that fellow, although he's probably heard a lot already.
Are we just gonna take him with us?
Well, that's just what I'm going to decide right now.
Well, we could use him for protection again.
Somehow I've got a hunch that won't work again, especially if we're bombed from the air. And what I've seen of Ivan Shark, he won't care if this man's life is sacrificed or not.
Hey, Red, you know, if this fellow can hear, he may have heard us talking about Mom Parada's hunting lodge.
We've got to keep Parada's camp a secret, so we'll take him along.
Quick!
Huh?
Look over there!
Look, Red! Somebody's running!
It's our prisoner, the injured pilot. He's escaping. Hurry, Red, hurry!
Well, the injured pilot, whose name we know to be Zollinger, has seized an opportunity to escape. But what is the truth about him? Is he actually deaf and dumb, or did the crash destroy his power of speech and hearing? Tune in tomorrow for Captain Midnight. Does Captain Midnight dare to try to capture the escaping prisoner? How much has this man overheard? And meanwhile, what is Ivan Shark doing? Be sure to listen tomorrow. Until then, this is Donna Gordon, your Skelly Oil Gal, saying goodbye and happy landings!
Cold and wet.
Jello.
Jello. And I like it.
It's Baby Snooks. Yes, Jello in those 6 delicious flavors brings you the Baby Snook Show, starring Fanny Bryce as Baby Snooks. This is your announcer, Harlow Wilcox. And now to Sycamore Terrace. It's early morning and Daddy is just dropping Snooks and her little friend Isabel at school.
Well, here you are, kids. Study hard.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye, Snooks. And please don't make any more trouble for the teacher. You've had to stand in the corner every day this week.
That ain't my fault.
I don't care whose fault it is. You've been wearing that dunce cap so often your head's starting to come to a point.
No, it ain't. It was always that way.
Now go on, and try to be smart.
I am. Yesterday, I was the only one in the whole class who could answer the teacher's question.
Oh, really? What was the question?
Who put the chewing gum in Annabella's hand?
Well, don't let me hear anything like that again.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye.
Come on, Snooks. Oh, look, there's Henrietta Barstow. Hello, Henrietta.
Hello, Isabel.
Hello, Henrietta.
Oh, hello, Snooks. Oh, I'm so glad I met you, Isabel. I'm having a party this Friday night, and I'd like you to come.
Oh, thank you, Henrietta. I'll be glad to come.
Good. Did you forget something, Henrietta?
I don't think so.
You're absolutely, positively sure?
Yes.
Oh. You know what I feel like doing Friday night, Henrietta?
What?
I feel like just going to a party.
Well, why don't you?
Because nobody invited me.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. You know, Henrietta, if someone invited me to a party, guess what kind of a present I'd bring them?
What kind?
A big box of candy.
We're going to have all the candy that anyone can eat. What's so funny?
A funny riddle. Want to hear it?
No.
It'll make you laugh like anything. Want to hear it?
Oh, all right. What is it?
Well, you say to me, Snooks, would you like to come to my party?
Why?
Because the answer is very funny.
All right. Snooks, would you like to come to my party?
I'd love to. See you at your party, Henrietta.
Oh, there you are, Snooks. What are you doing over here in the corner?
Just sitting.
Why don't you get out and dance?
Henrietta stopped me.
Stopped you? Why?
She said I look silly dancing with a chair.
Oh, what's the matter, Snooks? Don't you like any of the boys here?
Yeah, I like them all.
Then why don't you try to get them to dance with you?
Well, I tried, but they're all stronger than I am.
Well, here comes Jerry. I'll get him over here, and then you talk to him.
What'll I say? Do you want to dance, Jerry?
Oh, no. Lead up to it gradually.
All right, you hold him while I talk to him.
Yoo-hoo! Jerry! Come here a minute.
Hello, Isabel.
I'd like you to meet Snooks Higgins.
Hello, Snooks.
Hello. How do you like school? Ain't the music nice? You want to dance?
No, thanks. I don't want to dance.
You want to wrestle?
Oh, go home and tell your mother she wants you.
Oh, Snooks. You'll have to learn more about boys.
It's no use. I guess they don't like the brain type.
Oh, look. Here comes someone you know. It's Mr. Wilcox. Talk to him, Snooks. I'll see you later.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello, Snooks. Nice party, isn't it?
Is it? I can't find a boy who likes me.
Well, then I came along at just the right time.
Oh, Mr. Wilcox, I didn't know you cared.
Well, yes, but,
Come on, let's dance, Hollow.
I just meant I know a surefire way to get any boy interested. And keep him that way.
Tell me quick.
Why, everybody knows that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And everybody knows Jell-O is a real heart winner. With Jell-O in all 6 delicious flavors, why, you can be the belle of every ball.
Who ever heard of dancing with Jell-O?
That's just it, Snooks. Who wants to dance when they can eat Jell-O?
Yeah.
gel, oh so delectable it makes you think of the real ripe fruit. Why, the boys will be asking you to sit out every dance.
Well, that's just what they're asking me to do now.
2 spoons and what a chance for romance.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, I'll be running along.
Well, Snooks, I hope you're enjoying my party.
Your party was very, very icky.
Well, you insisted on coming.
Yeah, but you ain't got enough boys to go around. When I give my party, I'm having 9 boys for every girl.
You can't even get one boy for yourself.
Why can't I?
Because you're not pretty enough.
How would you like a smack on the nose?
Fighting won't change your looks.
No, but it's gonna change yours!
Mama! We can go home!
Now, I just don't understand it, Snooks. Why did you call me to make you take you home so early?
Nothing.
Oh, it must be something. Tell Daddy.
Well...
Oh, now stop crying and tell.
Everybody hates me! Especially boys! I couldn't get one dance.
Oh, what do you care? Boys don't mean a thing at your age.
They do too! Everybody's got a boyfriend except me.
Don't worry, honey. You'll have a boyfriend, too.
I will not, because I'm ugly!
No, you're not.
I am too, and my mouth is too big.
Now, that denotes a kind heart.
I don't want a kind heart. I want a boyfriend.
Honey, you have nothing to worry about. If a big mouth was any handicap, half the women in the world would never get married.
My ears are too big.
Now, who says that?
Johnny Fields, he said it was like 2 people was peeking over my shoulders.
Oh, I wish you hadn't told me that. Now every time I look at her, I'm going to think of those 2 people.
What did you say, Daddy?
Ah, nothing.
I thought you said...
Look, Snooks, there's no use trying to kid you as long as there are mirrors in the house. You fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. But remember the story of the ugly duckling. Wait till you grow up. Then you know what you'll be?
Yeah. Old and ugly.
You will not. You'll be like the duckling and turn into a graceful swan.
I will?
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Oh, now what?
I'll have feathers on my back.
Now stop it. You have 10 years to play, another 10 to pray, and after that there's always the Lonely Hearts Club.
What's the Lonely Hearts Club?
Oh, nothing. They advertise they'll get you a sweetheart when all else has failed.
The Lonely Hearts Club, huh? Dear Lonely Hearts Club, I am writing you because I want things sweet.
Gee, Henrietta, I wonder why Snooks asked us to wait for her here after school.
I don't know, Isabel.
Oh, here she comes.
What's that piece of paper she's waving?
So you think I can't get a boyfriend, huh? Well, read this letter.
Darling Snooks, all my life I've waited for a girl like you, and now I found you.
See?
Gee, that's a beautiful letter. It's so mushy. Who is it from?
From my boyfriend.
Needless to say, I am the proudest man in the Des Moines City Hall, and I am the envy of all the other elevator operators.
Yeah, so now you can't get a boyfriend.
I'll bet you wrote it yourself.
I did not hit the envelope, see?
Yeah. Why, Snooks, do you realize how lucky you are?
What do you mean lucky?
Why, you're the only girl in school with a real grown-up boyfriend.
Is that good?
Why, it's wonderful. You only get someone like him once in a lifetime.
Really?
I want you to be my friend, Snooks. Come on down to the drugstore. I'll buy you a soda.
No, I want to buy her a soda.
I asked her first.
I don't care. I'm going to buy her a soda.
I know what! You can both buy me a soda! Here's the mail, Dad.
Oh, thanks, hon. Say, what's that other letter?
What other letter?
The one you just put in your pocket. Give me that letter.
No, it's mine.
Give it to me.
Here.
It is addressed to you, and in a very mature handwriting.
Never saw it before in all my life.
Say, something very strange is going on here.
I didn't do nothing wrong, Daddy.
Why, this must have been going on for weeks. After 5 days, return to Albert Potter elevator number 3, City Hall, Des Moines. Snooks, you haven't been writing to a grown man, have you?
Yeah.
Where did you meet this man?
I didn't meet him yet.
Well, how did you get in touch with him? You don't just sit down out of thin air and write a letter to occupant, elevator number 3, Des Moines City Hall.
No. You write to the Lonely Hearts Club.
Oh, dear. I had to open my big mouth.
Yeah.
My precious darling.
That's me.
Oh, no! I received your last loving letter, and I'm sorry to hear that you're working so hard in your new nightclub show. Nightclub show. Obviously you lied to him. Who does he think you are?
The darling of Cafe Society.
And where'd you get an idea like that?
From a story I read in a New York magazine.
Oh! I realize I can't expect you to sit home waiting for me, and I don't mind a few casual friends, but who is this Howard Hughes you mentioned? Snooks!
It was in the magazine.
Oh, Snooks, you were the grown-up boyfriend.
Yeah. I'm the only girl in school who's got one.
Well, you won't have him long.
I will too. You only get something like him once in a lifetime.
Snooks, I want you to stop writing to this man.
I won't. I won't. I won't do it.
Now, of course, I could have insisted she stop writing to him, Vera, but Snooks would have liked him that much more.
Well, you're not going to let it go on, are you?
Oh, don't worry. I have a perfect plan. I'll get her interested in a kid her own age.
That may not be as easy as it sounds, dear.
I'll manage. I invited 10 of the nicest boys in town to drop over tonight.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me, how many are actually coming?
1.
Okay. Who?
Timmy O'Brien. His father works in our shipping department.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Snooks. I've got a big surprise for you. Wait till you hear who's coming over tonight.
Oh,
Timmy O'Brien!
never heard of him.
Well, just wait till he flashes that big smile at you. He's got the cutest grin and the whitest teeth. I've never seen anything to compare with him.
You like him, Daddy?
I certainly do.
Then you go out with him.
Sweetheart, he sounds wonderful. Snooks, dear, I may just go out with him myself.
Well, have a good time.
Oh, well, that must be Timmy now. Vera, wait till you see this kid smile. Well, Timmy O'Brien. Come right on in, Timmy. Snooks is waiting for you.
I am not.
Oh, Snooks, say hello to Timmy.
Hello, Timmy.
Hiya, Snooks.
What did you say?
I said, hiya, Snooks.
Oh, what happened to your
He
teeth?
ain't got any.
Are you sure this is the right boy, Lancelot?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Only yesterday he threw a beautiful gleaming smile at me.
Well, maybe he threw it at somebody else and it didn't come back.
Well, I can see you don't need me. I'll just go get the candy.
Well, isn't this chummy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know what they say. Three's a crowd. Maybe there's one too many here, eh?
I'll leave.
Come back here.
All right.
Well, go ahead, Snooks. Talk to Timmy.
I don't like him.
Why, he's a wonderful boy.
Always oogly boogly.
He's an athlete, a football hero.
Aw, Mr. Higgins.
I can see him now. There he goes with the ball. What a runner. He's all over the field.
So is his teeth.
Oh, what's the use?
I won't always look like this, Snooks. When I get my new teeth, will you go out with me?
I'm sorry, Timmy, but I'm true to Albert.
Albert Schmalbert. Now listen, I'm your father and you'll do as I say. Wait, where are you going?
I'm gonna write to Albert. He's gonna take me away from all of this in his elevator. Why did you ask me to come over here tonight, Snooks? I want Daddy to think you're up here helping me with my homework. You want me to help you? No. You want to know a secret, Isabel? What? Look at this letter. Jared?
give me a minute, my love.
You still want to elope, don't you?
Oh, desperately, but carrying a full-grown woman, I can't see you in the dark. How much do you weigh?
43 pounds.
Oh? You know, your voice sounds peculiar, too.
Well, you better hurry. Now, I'll climb on your shoulder and you can carry me piggyback.
How old are you?
60. Here I come!
Oh, get off my neck!
All right. Quick down the ladder.
I'm going as fast as I can, but I think I made a terrible mistake.
Oh, if my daddy catches us, he'll give me a spanking.
Spanking? I thought so. You're a child.
I am not. I'm the darling of Cafe Society.
Let go of my ear.
All right, I'll hold on to your hair.
No, stop that!
Oh, I scalped you! Oh, your hair came off!
Oh, put it back on. Get your foot out of my mouth.
All right.
Oh, there go my teeth.
You're falling apart!
Thank heaven we're on the ground.
Hey, you take your hands off of her!
What?
Timmy!
Pull up your deuce, mister! If you want snow, just fight me foot! We'll do this our boy style!
Fight you first.
Are you making fun of the way I speak?
No, take her, Thon. I hope you'll both be happy. Goodbye.
Are you alright, Snooks?
Yeah.
I hope you ain't mad at what I did.
No. You saved me from that awful Albert.
Awful? But I thought he was your boyfriend.
No. You're my hero.
Gosh, I am?
Yeah. Couldn't you tell?
Hey, what's this ladder? What's all the ruckus down there?
Oh, it's all right, Daddy. I'm down here with my boyfriend.
Albert!
No. Timmy.
Timmy? Well, how do you like that?
I like it a lot.
Well, Snook's got her man. Be sure to listen next week when she'll be back in another great adventure. Until then, remember, Jell-O in those 6 delicious flavors. Snooks, you tell them.
Just a taste of tempting Jell-O, and believe me, you will know it's the one and only Jell-O. And I like it.
Listen again next Friday night and every Friday night to the Baby Snook Show, transcribed and starring Fanny Bryce. Now, stay tuned for Club 15, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.